What is going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of All Mouth Bassing. In this one, I'm going to do something that I've actually been meaning to do for quite a while now, which is get out with these Ozark Trail Shudder Swimmer swim baits from Walmart. I picked these up quite a while ago, and I've been meaning to try catching some bass with them for you guys and let you guys know what I think. So today, I think I'll get out and do a little field test with them, and then at the end, I'll put together a little review. So that's the basic plan. I don't have too much more to say about it. I'm gonna shut up and get out on the water. Well, all right, guys, I'm out on the water now with one of these Ozark Trail Shudder Swimmers rigged up. This one is a Bluegill Flash 4-inch one, and I only picked up one pack of them, so this is what I'll be throwing for the video. It's a real nice looking color though, so I've got pretty high hopes for it. Let's go ahead and send it out there and see if anything wants it. Fish, little guy. All right, just a dink for the first one on the Shudder Swimmer, but I'll take it. At least it's a bass. Okay, guys, it's just a baby, but it hammered the Shudder Swimmer the second it hit the water. Pretty neat bite. Let's get this little dude swimming again. All right, guys, that's one little guy with the Shudder Swimmer so far. Let's get it back out there and see if we can find something a little bit bigger. Sheesh. Is that a fish or weeds? That's a fish, guys. I thought that was weeds. That's a pretty good fish. All right, not a bad bass at all. It's a really nice bass, guys. Best I've caught in a couple weeks. Let's go. All right, guys, this is actually insane. I got a giant on the Ozark Trail Shudder Swimmer. I didn't think this bass was nearly as big as it is because it wasn't fighting that hard, so I severely underreacted, but this thing's actually an absolute monster. One of my biggest bass from Florida yet. Anyway, though, let's get it back in the water and we'll get back after it. There it goes, right under the yak. Well, it's a few days later now, guys, and it is a real chilly morning. I decided to actually get out on a totally different canal system. This one's actually got a lot more clear water. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw around that Ozark Trail Shudder Swimmer swim bait a little bit more out here, and we'll see if I can catch any fish in this canal. Guys, I was trolling to the next spot and I got hit. I don't know what it is, but I want something. Oh, it's a little snook. Hell yeah. All right, pretty cool. Even bit below the line, so my line's not even all chewed up. That's best case scenario for a snook. All right, guys, that was so awesome. I was on my way over to the next spot and I decided to toss out that Ozark Trail Shudder Swimmer and just troll it behind me, and this little snook decided to bite. Obviously nothing too big, but super happy with the catch. Let's go ahead and put him back. All right. Well, nothing else bit on the rest of the way over here, but I'm out at the other spot I wanted to try now. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep casting around this Shudder swimmer, and hopefully something else wants it too. Fish. Another snook, I think. Yup, slightly bigger one, I think. Alright, about the same size. That's pretty cool though. Can't complain about a multiple snook day. Alright guys, looks like it's not just the bass that like the Ozark Trail Shudder swimmer either. And I'm pretty impressed with the durability of this bait too. Snook are pretty aggressive fish. They've got pretty sharp teeth, and these little swim baits are holding up great to these fish. So anyway, awesome little fish. Let's go ahead and get this guy back in the water and get back to fishing. Well, it's early afternoon the next day, and I decided to come back out with this bluegill flash colored Ozark Trail Shudder Swimmer swim bait. I'm at a pond that has a lot of bluegill in it, and I've also done pretty well with paddle tails in this pond in the past, so I'm thinking we could do pretty well in here with this setup. I'm gonna go ahead and whip it around, and hopefully we could get on a few more bass for you guys today. No way. First cast. Oh no, that was a good fish. Oh, I barely had the hooks in it. That sucks, guys. My hook set was weak and I knew it, but I didn't realize that was actually a really nice fish. Oh, that sucks. I screwed up. Man, that was crazy, guys. First cast, almost immediately got bit by a really nice bass. I didn't even know what I had on because my hook set was super weak. I'm not even sure if it had a hook in its face or not. It might have just had a hold of the tail, so it's possible that that bass might bite again if it didn't feel the hook. You never really know. But I screwed that up. I should have let it eat a little better and actually got a good hook set on it, but I just got a little excited because I wasn't really expecting a bite right off the bat like that. So, man, I mean, I'm making excuses, but that just sucked. Wish I would have landed that fish. Still cool to hook up with it at least though. And I'm gonna keep after it and hopefully get on another couple, 1-2 tree more today here. Fish. All right, finally. Definitely not the first one we hooked up with, but it's a decent little largie. All right, guys, still a little bit bummed we missed that real big one first cast there. This one's quite a bit smaller, but still a pretty good start to the day. Not too bad of a bass. Pretty happy with it. Let's get him swimming again. That's a fish. Fish. I'm on one. I think it's a good one. What is going on here? No, it's not. It's just attached to a whole tree branch. All right, it got off the tree branch. That's good at least. All right, guys, that's bass number 2 on the Shudder swimmer for the day. I think this one's just slightly bigger than that first one. Definitely a little bit chunkier, but I think maybe slightly longer too. Nothing to write home about, but not a bad little bass. Let's go ahead and get him swimming. Well guys, I ended up being pretty unimpressed with that pond spot earlier in terms of both numbers and size. So I decided to pack it up and leave that pond spot, and I came over to this brackish water creek. I've actually only ever fished it once before, and I don't really know anything about fishing brackish water creeks, but I know that a lot of saltwater and freshwater species like paddle tails, so I'm gonna go ahead, throw this Shudder swimmer out there, and we'll see if maybe we could add a species or two to the list. Something. I'm on one. I don't know what it is. It's big though. Oh, it's a new species, guys. I think this is a GT. All right, guys, this is so cool. I think I might have misspoke when I was landing it. I'm pretty sure this is actually a common jack, but it might be a baby GT. I'm not 100% certain. My saltwater ID skills are not the best, but either way, it's a new species and it is so awesome. Happy I left that bass spot to come over here, because otherwise I never would have caught this guy. So cool. So after looking into it a bit more when I got home, I'm pretty positive that last fish I caught was just a common or crevalle jack. When I was first landing it there, I was thinking it might have been a GT, but almost certain I was wrong about that after looking into it a bit more. But anyway, about the bait, these Ozark Trail Shudder swimmers absolutely exceeded my expectations. I mean, it's pretty hard to argue with the results we ended up having with them. I got that real nice bass, a couple snook, my first ever jack, so I mean, real stoked about that. This bait just performed very well, and I was, like I said, quite impressed. So just a few points I want to go over about it, and then I'll give you guys a little rating, and that'll be about it. So basically, I was quite impressed with the durability of it. Landed a couple snook in a row on it, and they didn't chew it up at all, and snook are pretty rough on baits. The bass didn't beat it up too bad. Pretty much nothing I caught really beat it up too bad. Actually, that jack chewed it up the worst, but still only put a small tear in the top, and it was still usable. So, I mean, great durability. The action was awesome. Real nice kick from the tail and a pretty nice side-to-side wobble, too. Seemed to attract the fish pretty well. The color schemes that this bait comes in are really awesome, so can't complain about any of those. The only one I threw was the bluegill flash, but I've looked into what else it comes in, and there's some other awesome color schemes you can get it in. The scent is pretty great. I'm a man of science, so I even went ahead and took a bite out of one, and it's got a pretty good amount of salt in it. I could see using a little bit more. It's a little light on the salt, but it's not bad. They're definitely scented, which will do a little bit to attract the fish as well. One thing I wasn't crazy impressed by was the price point. These are actually somewhere around $350, $375, which is not that cheap for a pack of swim baits. You can usually find some higher end swim baits on sale for around that same price, so they're really not the craziest bargain or anything, but they are some great performing little swim baits, and I was extremely impressed. So based on all that, just because of the price point, I'd probably knock a point or two off. I'd say I'd give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Super impressed with this little bait. I will definitely continue to throw these. I'll keep these in my tackle box in the future, and I'm sure I'll catch some more nice fish with them. So that's what I thought about that. Aside from that, if you guys like the gear I've been wearing, it's all my Waterland stuff. It's a company that I'm sponsored by, and I would just really appreciate it if you guys would go out and support them. If you support them, it also supports me. And if you use my code ALLMOUTH, you'll get 15% off your entire order at waterlandco.com. So if you like any of my gear or you're interested, they have a ton of other hats, a ton of other shirts, all sorts of different sunglasses, tons of options, awesome gear. So if you're interested, go ahead and check them out at waterlandco.com. And aside from that, I just hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't really have much more to say about it. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll see you on the water.